AITA for kicking my brother-in-law out of my house over a parenting disagreement. I 36M live with my wife, Claire 34F, and our two kids, Mia 6F and Leo 3M. Last month, Claire's younger brother, Nick 29M, moved in with us temporarily after a tough breakup. We agreed he could stay for 3 months to get back on his feet. At first, it was great. Nick was polite and helpful, and the kids loved their fun uncle. But things quickly started to shift. Nick doesn't have kids, but he's very vocal about how he thinks we should raise ours. At first, it was just small comments like questioning our bedtime routines or saying we're too strict about screen time. I brushed it off as him trying to be helpful, but it started to feel intrusive. The first big issue happened when Mia had a meltdown because we wouldn't let her have dessert before dinner. Claire and I calmly told her to go to her room to cool off. Suddenly, Nick stepped in, picked her up, and gave her a cookie. I was stunned. When I told him we don't reward tantrums, he shrugged and said, "She's just a kid. It's not a big deal." Later, I pulled him aside and explained he couldn't undermine us like that. He got defensive, saying I was being too rigid and that kids need love, not rules. I tried to be patient, but it felt like he didn't respect our parenting at all. Over the next few days, it got worse. He started openly questioning our decisions in front of the kids. If Leo cried at bedtime, Nick would comment, "Maybe he's scared to be alone," implying we were being neglectful. He even told Mia, "Your dad can be too strict sometimes, huh?" That crossed a major line for me. After hearing that, I told Nick we needed to talk. I explained that while I understood he was trying to help, he couldn't keep undermining us. He blew up, calling me controlling and saying I didn't value his input. I told him if he couldn't respect our boundaries, he'd need to find somewhere else to stay. He stormed off and left that night. Now the family is in chaos. Claire is furious and says I overreacted. She thinks Nick was just trying to bond with the kids and needed more patience because of his breakup. Her parents are also upset, accusing me of kicking Nick out when he was already struggling. Nick hasn't spoken to me since, and Claire and I are arguing more than ever. I feel bad because I know Nick is going through a tough time, but I also feel like he overstepped repeatedly and left me no choice. Claire says I should have let it slide, but I believe parenting boundaries are non-negotiable. AITA for standing my ground and asking Nick to leave.